hearing from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we move on to U.S. again. U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, has said that any U.S. military action against Iran would be closely coordinated with Jerusalem. Huckabee has said that the decision on a strike has not been made, adding that U.S. President Donald Trump hopes for the best outcome and would pursue a deal if possible. He has emphasized that the United States would not accept a nuclear-armed Iran and that the pace of events would hinge on Tehran's actions. According to the envoy, if Iran escalates, all bets are off. But for now, Israelis should remain alert and continue daily life. Israeli and American officials have recently discussed the missile threat and broader deterrence dynamics, underscoring the need for tight policy alignment. Now we welcome Mr. Nirmal Abraham. He's a political analyst, joins us live from Kerala, India. Thank you very much, Mr. Abraham, for joining us again. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Now, looking at this, what is the motive or strategy of this administration's dual message of preferring diplomacy while warning that all bets are off? How might Tehran interpret this mix of signals?
Well, I think the goal is clear for both the US, Israel, as well as Iran. It's not like Iran does not know the picture. What the US wants and what Israel wants ultimately is Iran to stop the nuclear enrichment program, which US could not completely destroy when they attempted in June 2025. So they would want that, the end of the nuclear program, and taking off whatever stock is left to another country. That's one thing that the US wants. Number two, they would want the protests to stop. That's something I think Iran would or may agree to. Number three is again a challenging negotiating factor, which is they would want Iran to stop funding all the proxies, whether it's Hezbollah in Lebanon, or whether it's Houthis in Yemen, whether it's the Hamas or Islamic Jihad in Palestine, or any other small faction of the proxies that they have left. So these are the three goals that the US and Israel wants, and Iran pretty much knows that. The reason why this is going on for so long is because Iran will not accept the terms, especially number one and number three. They would not want to stop funding the proxies because for them it's a matter of existence, and they will not want to stop uranium enrichment. That's also a matter of existence for them, I think. So this is why it's going on for so long, and maybe that's one of the reasons why the US is trying to escalate this.
Right. And, what does Ambassador Huckabee's emphasis on close coordination with Israel signal about how much is U.S. coordinating with Israel, or how much strategic autonomy Washington is willing to retain if tensions with Iran escalate? How is Israel going to be coordinating or playing in this part?
I think it's clear that Israel was involved right from the beginning. Even when the United States attacked the uranium enrichment centers, it was for Israel. So it has always been a coordinated effort. Although Huckabee just mentioned it the other day, it has always been a coordinated effort. And why it matters to Israel and why they may be involved is because Iran, as you are aware, is a country with leaders that chant in public rallies "Death to Israel." And they have proxies who do the same thing. They chant death through Israel. They conduct rallies against Israel and the people of Israel. So it's a concerning thing for Israel. They would want two major weapons that Iran has to be neutralized. They don't want the end of Iran. They want a regime change in Iran, because this is a regime that supports and promotes proxies. This is also the regime that tries to enhance the nuclear capability of Iran, which in turn is a risk to Israel, because any problem that Israel has had, yes, they've also been involved in problems, they've also instigated issues, but any problem that they've had in the Middle East has been largely due to Iran. Also, if you look at the Middle East, it isn't just Israel. If you look at other countries like Bahrain, like Saudi, because of Houthis, they've had issues with Iran. So Iran is a country that has for long destabilized the Middle East, not just Israel. So which is, I think, one of the reasons why Israel wants to get involved. And it's not a secret. It was known to people that Israel was already involved in coordinating these attacks.
Right. And how realistic is this, in practical political terms? How does this constant readiness of U.S. Urging or sharp rhetorics coming out of U.S., coming out of American diplomats across the world, affecting the current already fragile or already heightened tensions between U.S. and Iran?
I think the US is aware, at least historically, if you look at the last two attacks that the US made against Iran, let's say in the last 5 years, the US is aware that Iran may not retaliate the way it used to in the past. For example, last year, in June 2025, when the US attacked Natanz and other nuclear centers, Iran attacked back a day later with prior notice to one of the air bases in the US. So the US was already made aware. It was just a symbolic attack. Same applies in 2020 when Qasem Soleimani was taken out, which was an even bigger deal. And Iran attacked 5 days later in an airbase in Iraq with prior notice. So the US knows that no matter where it goes in terms of words or actions, Iran at the moment is also weaker, so they may not retaliate the way that they used to. So which is why I think US is taking the leverage to use sharp words and instigate sharp actions, like sending a fleet of fighter jets and the Abraham Lincoln USS to close to Iran.
With that, I would like to thank Mr. Abraham for joining us today and sharing that insight. Thank you very much. Now we move on to Japan. Japanese Prime Minister